Hey guys, Marsing in here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are looking at another one of the Buu Saga EZAs, and that is the TEQ Vegito. So he is full level 10 links and ready to go. His passive is attack and defense 150%. He gets an additional defense 15% per key sphere obtained. He gets chance to dodge 5% with each attack received up to 30%. And then he gives all allies attack and defense 30%. He also launches a guaranteed additional attack that has a high chance, so 50%, of becoming a super attack. And then his super attack is the Big Bang attack, which is supreme damage to the enemy and raises allies attack and defense by 30% for one turn. So once you've got him built up, especially after the he's taken those hits and got that dodge chance fully built up, he's kind of designed to be run on the team as a support unit. But obviously with that super attack effect, he's going to be really good in slot 1, because after he super attacks, the fact that units that you're going to be running him on teams with, like the two different versions of LR, Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegito, by him super attacking, he's giving them a pretty significant buff. So we've got 3 links active on this turn. We've got the support from the Saiyaman, Super Saiyan 2 Saiyaman, so we've got 171k defense at the start of the turn, which is pretty good, all things considered. And then we pick up 5 orbs, so that puts us to 212k. So that is a pretty solid defense for putting in slot 1 in these early stages. Because remember, of course, on turn 1, your chance to dodge is limited only to your hidden potential, right? Because you have to start receiving the attacks in order to build up that 5% dodge chance. So now we got the LR Vegito here hitting 3 mil. So that's the thing, the rest of the rotation, we're getting support from the Saiyaman in the final slot, but we're now also getting that extra 30% buff from the Vegito super attack effect. So in terms of super difficult content, obviously putting him in slot 1, if you're unable to pick up a large amount of orbs to give him that extra defense, then obviously he's going to be sub 200k until he gets a 200% team. Of course, he's not on a 200% team, so we're running the double STR Goku and Vegeta leads. Actually, let's float off the Gohan, because he gives more support. He gives 35% attack and defense, so we'll get him floated off here. So this Vegito, obviously you can run him as a slot 3 unit, and then in more difficult content as you get towards the end, he will have had some attacks, you know, he'll have probably built up that dodge chance, and then he's just essentially providing the 30% attack and defense to the rest of the rotation. The fact that he can do an additional super is obviously good as well. Having that built-in dodge just keeps him protected, but of course, just running him in the 3rd slot, you're missing out on that extra bonus support that he can provide by getting that super attack off. Because even if you run him in slot 2, then obviously it's only the unit in slot 3 that's then getting that extra 30% buff, and depending on how you've built your team, like potentially that's another support unit who's not going to do the craziest amount of damage. So he shares 4 links with the STR Vegito, so this is the rotation that we want to run. But I mean, you can see here, like, as a nuking style unit, one of the problems that you can run into is turns where you can't pick up that many orbs. So with 3 orbs and no support, yeah, he's at 180k at the start of the turn. So obviously in very difficult content, if you were to then get super attacked in slot 1, that's not going to be looking too good for TEQ Vegito. But obviously we want him to take some attacks early on so we can get that dodge chance built up in his passive. So him taking that hit in slot 1 there was obviously good. He's able to finish off Vegeta, and then we can move on here. So we're eventually going to get the Int Vegito linked up on the other rotation with this secondary one. But let's see if we can get... let's do this. I wanted to try and get a big group of orbs together. There you go. I think we've got 6 TEQ orbs there. So if we don't finish off Turles this turn, should be able to get 6 orbs for Vegito, and we are going to have the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I think, in slot 3, so we're going to be getting that extra 35% support as well. So then, not only is Vegito going to be looking really good, but STR Vegito in slot 2 should then be looking very impressive as well. Obviously, once the STR Goku and Vegeta transform into Vegito, they're going to get a huge benefit out of this TEQ Vegito being in slot 1, because obviously once they transform, they lose their damage reduction. As great as a unit as STR Vegito has always been, the obviously #1 gripe for him is when you take him into really difficult content, his defense is not all that great, and obviously you want to be putting him in front of a ton of counters, but you obviously want to him to not be taking that much damage. So, I am going to use a Senzu so we can heal the locking off, but I need to remember to transform first, because otherwise we are not going to be able to transform. So, did that in the right order. Use the Senzu bean to get rid of the rotation locking, and now we can do this. So, you can see Vegito has 176k defense, Tech Vegito has 173. We're able to pick up 6 orbs here. So that is going to give us a significant increase. Yeah, 223k. And we've got type advantage on this turn as well. So let's go ahead. We can't get... If I get a bunch of orbs for Vegito, then we can't super attack with the Gohan. So let's just grab these. He still gets his 18 key super. So remember, his defense is 176k. He's then going to jump up over 200k when Tech Vegito supers. So then he should be looking very good here. 2.72. Obviously, we're not expecting Tech Vegito to hit like crazy high numbers. But remember, his defense is going to be well over like 250k at this point, which is pretty good. And then, of course, the dodge chance built in as well. So 6.3 million for this Vegito. Pretty good considering the rotation. We got 35% support, but that 6.5 is nicely boosted by that 30% buff from Tech Vegito, getting a 4.4 on the additional super as well. I really love the STR Vegito's 12 key super, the Spirit Sword, because he gets so much extra key from picking up orbs, you don't really ever get to see it, because getting his 18 key super is so easy. So, but yeah, very good turn. We'll float off the Saiyaman, High School Gohan here, sorry. He's going to take a super, but he's probably not going to take that much damage. And then we should connect up some blues here. Perfect. So we've got a decent amount of orbs to pick up for Tech Vegito on the next turn. It's the only thing you have to think about, of course, when you're using him, especially if you do want to use him in harder content and have him as a slot 1 unit. You need to always make sure that on the turn before he's going to come into play, that you're kind of trying to set up the orbs for him. Because as I've said already, like any nuking style unit, they're always going to suffer if you get one of those turns where the orb field is just really, really bad and you can only pick up 1 or 2 orbs. Then obviously his defense is not going to be that impressive and it's going to be a little bit more of a risk putting him in slot 1 in front of some of these attacks. But obviously pairing him up with the STR Vegito, we are able to, once we get the fusion, get that scouter effect so we know where the super attacks are going to be. So this is another very good rotation. Vegito able to get the Super Saiyan link from the Gohan at the end. And obviously the links have changed, but there's still 4 links because we now have Fused Fire and Power Bestowed by God. So still a pretty decent rotation. 212k at the start again. So yeah, this rotation definitely looking very strong. Now obviously the Tech Vegito does not have a 200% team because he's not on Kamehameha. Obviously on Global there's only the Majin Vegeta 200% team, but when the anniversary stuff comes out, obviously the LR Super Saiyan 4s lead the Fused Fighters team, which is finally the combo we've always wanted of all of the Potara and all of the Fusion Dance characters. So obviously this Vegito is able to be run on that team, and while he's not going to get the 200% leader skill, obviously you could run a rotation where you have him in slot 1, getting his super attack off to get the buff. And then even though they probably wouldn't link super well, you'd have the LR Super Saiyan 4s in the next slot and then just have a unit that they do link up really well with, like one of the TUR or LR standalone Super Saiyan 4s in slot 3 to give them the links like Saiyan Raw and GT and stuff like that. And then after Vegito's gotten his super attack off, they're going to look incredible because I can't like hype up the anniversary LRs enough. For any of you guys who haven't seen them in action, so my JP side account, I didn't pull them, so I have to run a GT Heroes team using Physical Goku, so I have a 170 lead, and then using a Rainbow Friend, so they're obviously getting their 200% leader skill, but then only the 170 from my leader. They're still hitting like 8-9 million with no support, with like linked up with like LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So obviously for me, with my global account, where I have units like LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, fully link leveled, like Rainbow, everything ready to go, I cannot wait to get my hands on these anniversary LRs. So remember, Vegito is going to be able to be run on their team. So we see here, we're getting super attacked in slot 1, and we are only able to get 2 orbs. There's going to be a good example of him pretty much in like a worst case scenario, right? I mean, we'd be worse if we had no support because we've got the High School Gohan. So we've got 187k. Now, his dodge chance should be fully built up, I think, by this point. So, he's got a 30% chance to dodge from his passive. I think mine has, like, 12 dodge. Because, obviously, back in the day, he was just a support unit with no extra utility or anything. So, unfortunately, he did not dodge. So, 200k. Now, you've got to remember, this is one of the later Infinite Dragon Ball history stages. But it's certainly not, like, particularly difficult in comparison to other events. So, if we're in the Legendary Vegeta event, obviously this rotation, we would still want to put Vegito in slot 1 because of the type advantage. But something like Legendary Goku event, or of course when Global gets the red zone, if you're able to see that there's a super attack in slot 1, I mean, STR Vegito is not great at tanking supers either, but that was definitely a nightmare turn for that setup. So let's try and get as many orbs as we can set up here. So let's go for, in fact, yeah, let's try and get all the green ones down here. So we'll do this, and then we'll do this. See if we get any more greens in at the top as well. I don't think we did, but get a reasonable amount of orbs there. We got the Dokkan attack that turn, though, so it was like perfect timing, because we took big damage from the super attack from Super Saiyan Broly, and then just healed it all back up, ready to move into Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So I guess we are going to play through to the end of the event, because I would imagine this is probably going to be the last turn, considering we are going to get the buff off with TEQ VEGITO and then STR Super VEGITO, depending on how many attacks are in that middle slot for STR VEGITO to be dishing out some counters. We probably are going to be done here. So TEQ VEGITO looking pretty good. Now, I'm pretty sure I didn't put any equips on mine. So I would say, obviously, for the bronze, give him a defensive one, get that defense as high as possible, and then you can kind of go with either dodge or additional, because crit I don't think is hugely worth it, because obviously he's not here on the team to be doing like crazy amounts of damage. We're obviously here to have him as support and getting that buff for the rest of the team with his super attack in slot 1. So I think dodge to maximize his defensive capability, or additional, because obviously if he additional super attacks, hey, there we go, he dodged the group attack, that's what we like to see. And then of course Vegito counters on the group attack because it's only a normal attack. And so now TEQ VEGITO actually gets to have his turn. So 2.72, obviously he's not dishing out crazy damage, but there we go, there's the double super. So now the rotation has that double, oh wow, the triple super turn. So this is going to be a crazy turn for STR Vegito. Full 24 key. Yeah, 7.7. So remember, if he gets an additional super, you get the buff again. As far as I know, right? Because his attack stat went up. And the only thing that puts up his own attack stat is that effect from his own super. So yeah, if you get that triple super attack turn, that STR Vegito looking pretty spicy, considering he only had, what, 5 links active, hitting a 7.7 million attack stat on the 170 league team. So pretty good TEQ VEGITO for helping everybody else out around him. The only problem, of course, is going to be his defense for more difficult content, where you could maybe struggle to put him in slot 1. So let me know what you guys think of him down below. Have you been using him? Where would you be using him? The fact that he can go on one of the anniversary LR teams is obviously quite useful as well. So let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.